What's going on, everybody? This is Minister Q. Welcome to the protocol. Well, what do we have here? A situation that you guys need to see because from the looks of it, there's there. We are on the verge of some laws, you guys, that are transpiring right now that middle class citizens are going to feel more of a pinch of all that they labored for to get to the point where they are, where all of us would like to be. We all try to fight for having good credit. We all try to fight for being in a position where we could be well off. And well off, I don't know what it means for you guys, but well off for me is not just being able to pay your bills, have food, have clothes, but to have money left over where you can go on a vacation, where you could take your children places, where you could travel. You don't have to have the most fanciest cars or fancy homes or anything like that. So having good credit will get you there. And I know that there are many other opportunities that can be granted you when you have good credit. But you guys got to hear what's been happening lately. Brace yourself for all you middle class citizens and understand that we are in a very, very, very serious time now. But for those of you who hear from God, you know what's up. So here we go.
About 1,000 people have sent me this on social media, and we've got to cover it on today's show because it's big news, and not in a good way. Let me read you the first line from this Fox News article. A Biden administration rule is set to take effect that will force good credit home buyers to pay more for their mortgages to subsidize loans to higher risk borrowers. This is wild.
Yeah. It's
So let's break this down. That was a lot of words.
Yeah, go ahead.
Here's what's happening. People that have been quote unquote responsible, you know, we don't love credit scores here, but people who have good credit scores, who are putting 15 to 20% down,
Doing the right thing.
are now being dinged and having to pay more for their mortgages in order to help those who have bad credit scores and nothing down.
No!
That's the summary.
No!
And this is not spin. Like, we can go political all day because it is political, but from a financial perspective, this is insane.
Purely, yes, my no is purely financial, by the way.
So here's the details. Experts believe that borrowers with a credit score of about 680 would pay around $40 more per month on a $400,000 mortgage under rules from the Federal Housing Finance Agency, which goes into effect May 1st. And by the way, if you're thinking, I'm going to sneak under the... No, it's too late. You would have had to close 2 days ago to not get hit by this. It's already happening. It's just now official.
$40 more per month. So if you have and we don't preach 30-year mortgages.
That's 15 grand.
15 grand on top of your normal interest that you're paying over the course of your amortization schedule. Unbelievable.
So the Federal Housing Finance Agency, they oversee the federally backed home mortgage companies like Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. You've heard about them. And they're trying to give consumers more affordable housing options. Which, let me remind you, the housing market's been struggling in the wake of all these multiple interest rate increases by the Fed. And under new rules, consumer with these lower credit ratings with less money for a down payment would qualify for better mortgage terms than they otherwise would have.
And this is the problem, you guys. We have an administration that's trying to level the playing field. So he says that the rich, as he said, needs to pay their fair share. But these are buzzwords for really the middle class. You guys getting hit with the brunt of it. Those of us who have been working hard to try to build good credit, those of us who've been trying to get to a point of being well off. And when I say well off, we all aspire to be wealthy. And when I say wealthy, I'm not talking about having the nice cars, the nice homes, the super rich. I'm not talking about the type of materialism to that extent. If that is something that you obtain in your hard work and honest living, that's good. I'm not Xing that out. But what I am saying is that where you can go on vacations, where you'll be able to not just be able to pay your bills and all of those things, but you'll be able to have money left over to where you can do extra stuff. That's being well off. I would say that's at least being well off. And here you have we hear about taking from the rich, giving to the poor. But here we have people who are making an honest living, people who are really working hard to make an honest living. And now you have to help those. And hear me, I'm all for helping those who are poor. That's what we do. But when you have irresponsible individuals and you hit in the middle class, because that's really who is touching here, that ain't gonna do nothing but make that gap between the rich and the poor grow more and more and more and more, to where you have these 1% super rich people, and then you have nothing but poor people who are working for pennies on a dollar. And the more they work, the more that's being taken out of their pockets to help the less fortunate. And yet you call this leveling the playing field.
I don't like this, George.
So we're awarding bad financial behavior to help broke people become broker. And then hurting the people who have gone, I've done everything the right way from the system, right? I've got the good credit score. I saved up my down payment. No, you pay more now to help cover the other guy.
This.
You pay more now. You pay more now to help cover the other guy.
This isn't what I'm saying is
It's
not political,
socialism.
but there you go.
It's socialism. That is what it is. If you look at history and don't learn from it, you're bound to repeat it. Thankfully, America so far has never been there, but it's marching there. If you look at any other nation that has become communistic, they didn't recover from that. There was no going back to democracy. You guys, this is a graph of power and control. Make the poor poor, make the rich richer, to where there is no middle class. I'm telling you.
At this point, we're robbing from just normal middle class folks who did the right thing. It's not even like robbing from the rich. We're just saying, hey, you've got what we need. We're just going to take a little of that, and you're going to pay for this so that more people can. That's not right. No. When the people who have done everything right, they're like, hey, I saved my 20%. Y'all know we don't care nothing about a credit score. But if you're like, I did everything right, I got my credit score up, and now here you are, and you're having to fit the bill for this. It's not right.
Yes. And if you've seen the headlines, they're throwing percentages out there. These are not interest rate hikes. Let me make that very clear. This is something called LLPA, loan level pricing adjustment. And that's part of the picture that then trickles down to affect the interest rate.
Yeah.
So that's what we're talking about here. And I'll give you some numbers. So a buyer with a 620 FICO score, for example, or under 640, with a down payment of 3 to 5%, which is basically nothing, they're going to see a 1.75% decrease from the old rate of 3.5 for that bracket, right? Mm-hmm. But if you've got a score of 720 to 759 and you've got 15 to 20% down, you get hit the hardest with a 0.75 increase from the old fee of 0.25.
Wow.
So if you look at the chart, it's a beautiful kind of heat map that's out there, and that's what it shows. The numbers are very clear that those who are awarded the most are those with credit scores under 639, who have 3 to 5% down. Those who get hit the hardest are those who have that 720 to 760, who have 15 to 20%. And here's the interesting thing. If you've got way more than that down, you have no effect. Mm-hmm. And that's what's true. Even more interesting, because I know the Ramsey fans out there, they're going, oh my gosh, I want to get it at home. You don't have to worry if you follow our advice. Because guess what? This only affects loans greater than 15 years. And if you've been listening to the show for 15 seconds, you know that we only recommend 15-year fixed-rate conventional loans. That's it. Mm-hmm. So you can sleep at night if you're a Ramsey fan.
I love that. You can just sit back, be a spectator. But can I just say, I hate this because...
Well, thank God for solutions. There are always solutions. It's just a matter of having the right connections and the right information.
I'm sure the intent behind this is to level the playing field, to reduce that gap of folks who feel like they're at a disadvantage to purchase a home or have the opportunity to purchase a home. But I'm like, every playing field doesn't have to get leveled, George. Sometimes you just got to work for what you have.
This is the participation trophy.
It is.
And I get it. I'm not here to go, hey, if you're broke and you have a bad credit score, I never want you to be a homeowner.
No, that's not it at all.
I want you to be a homeowner. This isn't the way to do it. It's to squeeze the middle class. Because
that's exactly it. This is not the way to do it. Every time they talk about trying to squeeze the super rich, you don't see it happening. It's all a mirage, you guys. It's all a mirage.
Truthfully, the upper class, they're not dealing with this. Even if they do have mortgages, their financial situations, their credit scores, whatever it is, their amount they have to put down, they're not affected by it. It's the middle class. It's those people who are, I'm trying to do everything by the book. I got my 15-20%, and now you're paying $15,000 more over the course of that 30-year loan.
I love this part at the end. It says, why was this done? The answer is simple. It was to try to narrow the gap in access to credit, especially for minority home buyers who often have lower down payments and lower credit scores. So let's just do I'm going to make somebody mad. Wow. Do what it takes to get to pay off your debt, to increase your income, save your money so that you can get a higher down payment. There's work to be done. And stop acting like you can't do that work and that you need to wait over here for somebody to do the work for you.
Oh, you got Jade preaching. Here's the craziest part, Jade.
You need to wait for someone to do the work for you. Look, y'all, I'm all about helping people. Lord knows, but there's this deception, you guys. And some of you out there, many of you out there, you got to stop having a victim mentality. You have to stop having a victim mentality. And like she just said, we got to do the work. Now, with that being said, I want to read to you guys this scripture. If we go over to Proverbs 11, verse 1 through 8, well, that would be longer. But it says a false balance. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. So false balance is when people are not being fair. Any person who works hard for what they've gained, they should have a right and a choice as to how to distribute. Where the false balance comes in at is when you're really taking from those who have honestly gained what they have. You're taking from them and you're distributing it the way you see fit. Nevertheless, the ones who are in the rich and powerful position, you're not doing that with them. That's a false balance. If you're going to talk and say you're leveling the playing field, you want to make sure you do that across the board. But it's a false balance when you're taking from people who have an honest living and you're giving it to someone else who's not making an honest living. Or even if they're in a struggle, there should still be choice for a person who has to give to those who don't have. You can't take from somebody else to give to somebody else, to give to the other. It's just not right. There's a way, like you said, there's a way you level the playing field, but the way they are leveling this playing field, it's not just. It's not just. Anytime you're taking from somebody else to give to somebody else, that's not just. Everyone has a right to give. Everyone has a right to receive. When pride comes, then comes shame, but with the lowly is wisdom. The integrity of the upright shall guide them, but the perverseness of transgressors shall destroy them. That's what it says in the following part. So, when the integrity of the upright, whoever is in position to create these laws had to have integrity and be upright. When they don't have integrity, and that goes for any of us in any given situation, when we don't have integrity, we find ourselves being a perverse and a transgressor. And when there's the perverse and transgressor, as you see here, is in positions of power, they destroy them. Who? The middle class, the poor, as they see fit. So guys, we need to get back right with God. I just wanted to share that video real quick. You guys pray, man. Y'all pray and be careful who y'all vote for. Without the wisdom of God, though, it's not going to happen. Only Jesus can make the truth known, and only Jesus can set us free. So with that being said, hit the like and subscribe button. And until next time, remember to follow the protocol. God bless.